So everybody's heard of puppy yoga. This is going to be learning with puppies. So like puppy yoga, this is going to be absolutely nothing like that. It is strictly going to be doing anything you are already going to do with the distraction of puppies. Learning with puppies. And today, what we're going to be learning about is 4-H. So we recently had an animal go to 4-H, Cotton, the beautiful lamb that could heal. What is 4-H as it relates to animals?
So, what 4-H is it's big, and so there's many different chapters which basically encompass certain areas. So there's a couple.
Do you mean geographical areas?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Not like skill areas or
exactly.
okay.
And then in 4-H, there's many different skill sets that everyone can have. So there's different things, like there's so many things. So there's showing animals, so you can show like pigs and cattle and goats and sheep, and as you progress, like the winner actually goes to like a pro show, which is very cool. And other sides of it are like things like dealing with horses. I think there's like a dog category as well, and there's just a whole bunch of different categories. But what is really neat about it is if you're a city child or a city family, you can get a taste of the country. So what these children do is they end up getting an animal. So they pick an animal and then they work with it. So it teaches them how to take care of this animal, brush it, clean it, all this stuff, all the maintenance and everything with the animal, and then they show it. And then they get judged on it by their performance as well as the animal's performance. So it's very neat. So you'll see lots of like sometimes photos go through. I see them a lot on Facebook, and you'll see like children hold a lamb like this right here, and it's just to make it showcases how like the shape of the lamb. So what Cotton and her sister are going to be in, they're going to be in the purebred category. So that's kind of exciting because I think she said as of right now there might not be any other ones in the category. So
Win by default. Yay!
by default. But so I took Cotton and her sister to meet the new family. So the daughter who's going to be showing them only knows about the dark one. She does not know about Cotton yet, which is going to be very exciting because, as you've all seen, Cotton is just fantastic. Where her sister is kind of like, you're going to murder me. Skittish. So it's very exciting. So they're already looking up Finnish names. They have a friend that is Finnish, and so he's helping the daughter pick names of gods in Finnish, and so he'll teach her how to pronounce them. So that's what they're going to get for show names, which is very cool. The family is also moving to Ontario, I think, at the end of the year. And so these lambs get to go there, which is kind of exciting. And then they may breed them and basically continue on that line. Now, both of the lambs are very special, but Cotton, of course, is my favorite. So I really hope she does really well. And as she gets through competitions, the mom is actually going to be tagging us in our farm so that we can follow along with how our lambs are doing. And then at the end competition, we're actually going to go. So we're going to see one of our lambs hopefully compete and hopefully win, which I'm super excited about. I think it's in August or July. It's going to be so exciting to see our lamb be shown in a competition. And these animals can go for big money when they win 4-H.
Yes,
sometimes.
yeah, I heard that. So that's very exciting. We're going to see an animal that wasn't even born go from birth all the way through to 4-H.
Yeah.
Trained and then compete.
And then
and
hopefully win. I'm hoping that she wins.
Yeah. If anybody knows Cotton, you know that she is not only beautiful, but has a skill set unlike any other.
Yeah, and she's easily trained, which is amazing. So I hope that she does phenomenal. She's also super friendly, so it'll probably give her an edge over her sister with workability. So that's exciting too. So they went home today and they're going to work with it, but follow along on our page because we'll be tagged in any updates as they're competing. So if you want to know how Cotton and her sister are doing, you'll want to follow along. We'll probably do update videos as well. And then when we go and see some of these competitions that they're in, we will do hopefully a video. Then we might just have to do a video with a couple snapshots of photos because it's not going to be the time or place to do a video there, but we will probably video them showing us because we're just going to be so proud. So on that note, though, we're very big on pushing our animals into 4-H because it enables kids to kind of learn about animals and agriculture, which is a huge skill set, and they love it. It keeps them out of trouble, and when you fall in love with animals, you don't have money for anything else.
Okay, so something that might have got missed. We went right into what 4-H is. Is 4-H just a child thing? Is it just for kids? Is that how that works?
It's for kids.
Okay, it's a kid program.
But you know, you can go up and up and up, and so there is adults in it. So you can actually. She was telling me that I should go and see about being a leader. So
Okay.
You like adults can get involved too with their kids.
Okay.
And work with them on that, and it's kind of like also chaperone type thing. But you know, they're looking for people with skill sets to help lead these children into showing these animals. Now we do know someone, I think she's 20 now, and she shows cattle, dairy cattle. So she showed a bunch last year, and I haven't seen if she's going to do any this year, but she did it at the big exhibition. So it's, you know, it's a big deal that they're not really going to age out of, which is also really good. So you don't have the acreage, you can't get animals, you love animals, you love sheep and stuff.
You live in the city.
This is a great opportunity because typically what a lot of these people do is they do buy that animal, but what I would like to do is if you cannot buy that animal, if you are local to us and you're interested, you could show our animals without having to worry about the fact that you can't actually purchase that animal.
Okay, that's getting into a couple more questions I had. The first one being, how exactly do you get into 4-H? Okay, you have a kid, or you are the kid. I want to get into 4-H. How?
So
Who do you contact?
Google 4-H.
Okay.
And it brings up a website, and then there's a map. And so basically the map will have a diagram of what chapter you would fall in because of where you live.
Okay.
So here, like for instance, where we live,
Enfield.
We are so close. We're pretty much in the spot of two. So of Shubenacadie and Musquodoboit. So we're very close. We're not quite in one or the other. We're just like on the outskirts of both. So when you look on the map, it can show you, and then you can reach out to that chapter if you have questions about how to get more involved, you know, or apply, and like how to get started and all that. It's all on that website. Someone will reach out, and they're really good about it.
We will drop that link down in the description just so that you have an easy way. You don't have to Google it. It'll be the generic one, but it'll get you to where you need to go.
Yeah, and I don't know for sure if you can do birds at this one, like with 4-H, but I am guessing you potentially can. But I do know you can do rabbits.
That's awesome.
So if you live in the city and you're not quite ready for goats and sheep and horses and cattle, bunnies.
Okay. My next question, and probably my last one, is can we help kids do 4-H stuff? And you kind of already touched on that, and yes, we can. So if you are unable to buy an animal, thinking about buying one of ours, or just want to work with one, we can do that with you.
Absolutely. So if a kid does want to get into it, I would love to support them in that. Unfortunately, our goats would not qualify. It would only be the sheep.
Sheep, okay.
Because goats still, although they challenge it every year, they haven't been successful. They will not allow goats, if they're horned, to participate. So our goats, because I refuse to dehorn them, cannot be used in 4-H until that ruling is overturned, which they do try every year. But there's no money in goats, so
we're not. Yeah, and we're not going to get into a giant debate on horned, not horned.
No,
we are horned people. There is a very good reason for that. It's natural. But once again, we're not going to go into the rant. We have our reasons, but our goats don't qualify. But we still have sheep. Yep.
To have the horns, you know, for multiple different reasons, but so that is why only our sheep would qualify. And so we can do two classifications. So we can do a commercial breed, so that would be the mixed breed, and then we can also do the Finns as the purebred breed, but they can also do a commercial breed too. So that's kind of exciting. So you have some options. You may have seen some of our posts. They're fantastic little lambs and they really come around quickly. So they're pretty easy to work with, but they're also pretty tiny. So it's really nice to learn how to handle them because they are so small. Unless you go with a baby of Lou's, because I had to pick up Lou's baby and I'm pretty sure she's about 90 pounds right now. But she would end up being like the type of lamb that would go in the commercial showing one. So you would have two options. So if you are interested in getting into 4-H, you're not quite sure how, you can't buy an animal, but you do want to do sheep, reach out. I will work with you. I'll even do research on your behalf on how to get you involved, and then we'll come up with a plan of you learning how to work with an animal. It would just be mine instead of yours.
Well, that's all awesome. So anyway, that's all the information about 4-H. We will have lots of information in the description to add to that. That's just a little overview, and it gives parents who watch maybe an option. And those who are just interested to know. We've talked about cotton and where cotton was going. I didn't know a lot of that information. There's so many programs, it is hard to keep track.
Yeah.
But this one does seem like a fun one for kids.
So fun.
And very practical. There are a lot of things kids like horseback riding. We all know the expense that goes with that. So this is another avenue that kids who love animals might be able to go down.
And the horse one is very exciting because there is actually a category in 4-H which is about braiding manes and tails. And you know what's interesting, and I can go on and on, but some of the things we'll end up doing, maybe like another one when we actually go to a 4-H show, but some of them are like mane braiding and tailing on draft horses. So you imagine you're a little child handling an 18-hand high horse. Like, this is a massive horse. So if you're local to us, and you've heard of Hatfield Farms and you've been on that wagon ride, those are draft horses. So that would be what these kids are working with, and they're judging on their skill. They practice all year long. It's very exciting. So definitely check out the links below. We'll probably do more videos as we learn more about 4-H too, and our initial stepping into it, vicariously through the lambs, Cotton and her sister.
Awesome. This is so exciting. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. And check out the comments below. And talk to you later.